battled through all those rainstorms and thunderstorms over the last couple days to get yesterday's doubleheader in. It should be clear today, although muggy. The temperature in the mid-80s and very humid here in Washington, D.C. Dodgers and Nationals wrapping this series up after the Dodgers swept that doubleheader yesterday and ready to send this lineup up there, presented by 76. For the first time, Max Muncy will lead off. Then Cody Bellinger, another start in center. Justin Turner had the second game yesterday off. He's back in there. Grandal, Kemp, and Puig in the middle. Logan Forsythe making the start with a right-hander on the mound because Chase Utley has really struggled against Steven Strasburg. And then out of the 8th spot, Kike Hernandez. And the Dodgers tried to match a season-best 4-game winning streak after the season-worst 6-game losing streak. They start the day 6 games back of the Arizona Diamondbacks, who, by the way, have to face Noah Syndergaard in New York today. Nationals, meanwhile, have dropped back-to-back games for the first time since May. And they've come into this series as the hottest team in the National League, having won 13 of 15.
Steven Strasburg on the mound today. Another great starting pitcher that they can run out there after you. Early in the year, he was giving up the home run ball. That's something the Dodgers have missed most of the year. But lately, he's been better. Only 1 home run given up in his last 3 starts. And his ERA compared to Alex Wood, they're about the same. But Alex going for his first victory today, Strasburg going for his 6th.
And the first man that he'll face off with, maybe the hottest Dodger right now, and that brings us to our Land Rover Performance Spotlight. Max Muncy in his last 9 games hitting close to 400. He's driven in 9. That includes the 4 that he knocked in yesterday.
A professional at bat. Every time he comes up there, you're comfortable with him. Nobody on. You're comfortable in the middle of a rally, and you're especially comfortable with a man on third and less than 2 outs. I love his approach.
Helped the Dodgers in that first game to a 4-1 win behind Ross Stripling in his 6 innings. And then you won't find a more improbable win than what they got in game 2, with the bullpen getting all 27 outs. And then Matt Kemp's 2-run double in the 9th inning proving to be the difference in the come-from-behind win. It was the 2nd time in LA Dodger history that they'd won a game where they got all 27 outs from the bullpen. The other one, May 31st, 1981, at a game at Dodger Stadium. 4 pitches into his outing, Jerry Royce pulls a hamstring and gets taken out. And the Dodgers would trail that game 4-0 after a couple of innings, but offense exploded and they won it 16-4. It is more rare to have your bullpen get all 27 outs and win than it is to get a no-hitter over the course of baseball history. All right, I think we're ready to go. Muncy climbs in and Strasburg stands on the hill under partly cloudy skies here for the series finale in D.C. Off we go with ball 1 inside. Strasburg coming off a 3rd consecutive win, one of his best starts against Arizona last weekend. Faced the Dodgers on April 21st and was pretty good. 2 runs on 2 solo home runs. Jack Peterson and Kike Hernandez hit him. But Hyun-Jin Ryu is even better on that day, and the Dodgers won 4-0. On a 1-1 pitch. Muncy watches it catch the inside corner. That's where Tanner Roark was attacking in game 1 for the first couple of at-bats. Muncy then adjusted, pulled his hands in, and doubled down the line his 3rd time up.
I can see why they want to pound Max Muncy inside, because it's not overwhelming bat speed, but what he does have is great pitch recognition and timing. And so it might not be the quickest bat, but in recognizing the pitch a little sooner and playing the game after watching yourself get out on certain pitches, looking for it.
takes a breaking pitch to the back door for the first out of the afternoon. Let's take a look at the Nationals defense, brought to you by Keck Medicine of USC. You pointed out Matt Adams looking much more slim than he has in recent years. He dropped all the way prior to last season, and for the first time played the outfield for the Cardinals. Made him much more marketable. Part of why the Braves acquired him last season, and part of why the Nationals signed him to a contract this offseason. He's turned into a pretty versatile guy. Strasburg to Cody Bellinger, cuts through it, strike one.
How long has StatCast had player speed to have then the improvement? I wonder if he's the Matt Kemp of last year.
Yeah, you may be right.
After dropping all that and then moving out to the outfield. Definitely get on that.
Little dribbler back to Strasburg. 2 up and 2 down. I believe it's the 4th year of public StatCast data, but not everything has been public for that full time. You know, teams have had access to that kind of data for a lot longer than the public has.
So StatCast was trying to make money early on.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, get your research and development costs back before you go public.
Turner with 2 out. 1 for 3 in the first game yesterday, and then was walked intentionally as a pinch hitter in the nightcap. Take strike one. It has been really impressive what Justin Turner's been able to do. Just dropped into the middle of the season and looking completely in rhythm. Takes one outside. It's 1-1. Twice he's homered against Strasburg. It's also on a getaway day game at this ballpark a couple of years ago. Tries to lay off. Went around 1-2.
Well, you can tell how electric Strasburg's stuff is, because that's the first half swing, check swing for a strike we've seen from Justin Turner. His velocity is up there in the top 5 for starting pitchers in the big league still. He's lost a little from the younger days, but not that much.
This is where he gets really tough because of that stuff. Opponents hitting 109 with 2 strikes against Steven Strasburg. That's one of the best marks in all of baseball. '29-year-old from San Diego, looking for a 1-2-3 first. He fades a changeup low and inside, and it evens at 2-2. Makes me feel old when I see that Steven Strasburg's in his 9th major league season.
Thanks, Joe.
Sure makes you feel old too. You've aged about the same as I have over those 9 years, roughly 9 years. Grounded to second, Wilmer Defoe. Steven Strasburg with a 1-2-3 first. Alex Wood will need to be good for the Dodgers today with all the work the pen did last night. Ready to go. during the doubleheader yesterday. Let's look at the lineup here for Game 3, brought to you by 76. Turner, Harper, Rendon at the top of it. Mark Reynolds batting cleanup. Matt Adams out of the 5 spot, followed by Michael Taylor, who has good numbers against Alex Wood. Pedro Severino catches Strasburg, who bats ahead of Wilmer Defoe. Alex Wood still looking for that first win. You see the bottom line there. 3 starts in May. He's got a sub-2 earned run average, but just looking for a little luck to go his way.
Needs some run support. He doesn't need any one of his pitches to come along now. All 3 are working for about the last 3 starts. Fastball change slider. The slider kind of abandoned him for a while. The breakdown of left-handers hitting him is a little escalated this year. They're hitting him almost 300, so 325 to be exact. And that's the breaking ball. So right-handers, that fastball changeup, Joe, has been very effective.
He's normally been pretty even splits-wise in his career. Well, that breaking ball issue early on, skewing it to reverse splits a little bit. Inside to Trey Turner, 2 balls, 1 strike. Big part of the equation when you face the Nationals offense is keeping this guy off base. One of the fastest runners in the game. He's a good hitter, and this series started to take his walks. He's ahead of Wood 3-1.
Yeah, he's not your typical leadoff hitter that doesn't have power. He's got some pop in his bat, gap to gap and over the fence. So you just can't like feed him fastballs and not respect him.
It's a fly ball to center field for Cody Bellinger. He's got it. 1 out. And up comes Bryce Harper. 1 for 7 in the doubleheader yesterday. Yes, that average, that's right, 228 for Harper. When the Dodgers saw him in mid-April, was leading baseball in just about every category, but has slumped since.
I wonder if he got home run happy, because that front side is flying out a little bit more, maybe a little bit more into hitting the ball over the fence, or at least trying to, which changes the arc of your swing a little bit. I mean, he was on pace to what, hit almost 80 home runs. So crazy.
That'd make you happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get you a pretty nice contract.
Grounded foul, and it's 0-2. Yeah, and it is a contract year for him. You wouldn't think that he would need to press or try harder to lead to a bigger deal. He's going to get what he's going to get, which is going to be a ton. Most people think a record. Going without the batting gloves today. Takes just off of the inside, 1-2. Bryce Harper's grandma told him there are 2 things that you never talk about. You don't talk about politics. I guess that's an important lesson in this city. And you don't talk about money. You don't talk about your salary. And so Harper has remained steadfast in not discussing the upcoming free agency, not discussing what he'll be looking for deal-wise. It's good that he's drawn that line, because if he hadn't, he'd have to answer about it every single day. Now to 2-2 from Alex Wood. Harper fouls it off.
In my generation, he'd be like Lionel Richie dancing on the ceiling of the salary structure. He's going to be very happy where his number ends up. That was the name of the song, Joe.
Okay. Dancing on the
ceiling. Oh, what a feeling. Dancing on the ceiling.
Great lyrics. Full count. Bryce is still just 25 years old, and that is a big part of the reason he's looking at a record contract. I mean, you could sign the guy to a 10-year deal, and he's still only going to be in his mid-30s when it expires.
Semi-prime.
Uh-huh. Although hard to imagine there's more than what we've seen from him already. And you're talking about prime. Strikes out swinging for the second out of the first. The Dodger defense today brought to you by Keck Medicine of USC. Kike Hernandez, Mr. Versatile, getting the start at short, and Chris Taylor getting the day off.
No off day as we return home to LA tomorrow. We start up with the Rockies, so without the off day, you don't have the luxury of just guaranteed off days for your regulars. So Kike is very versatile and very adept at fielding and playing shortstop.
Anthony Rendon, 12 of 19 with a home run in his career against Wood. Alex starts him with a strike. A lot of those numbers came in Wood's previous life as an Atlanta Brave when he was in the same division as Anthony. Wood now in his 4th season in a Dodger uniform. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's never a boring day when Alex is on the mound. He's going to show you his emotions, and we've seen a lot of them this year with the frustrations and lack of run support. He does not show his teammates up, but you see the emotions when he gives up a run or a hit where he feels like, I'm walking a very thin line between winning and losing.
And you hope with what the offense has done the last few days that moving out of that phase, well, the margin for error is so small. 1-2.
Yesterday you had a contrast in games. I mean, game 1 they played almost the perfect baseball game. You know, they got great length from Ross Stripling. The bullpen came in, did the job. The offense was locked and loaded and did it. And then the second game was one of those ones where it could go either way, and both teams had kind of screwed up in different areas, and the Dodgers battled with their bullpen to a point and then run out of a little gas. And you're battling Max Scherzer and you think you got a shot to sweep, but it was just enough in the game 2 to make it happen, and it was a big key hit, Matt Kemp's double.
In a game where Rich Hill throws 2 pitches and is pulled, they beat Max Scherzer. I know they took a no decision, but they win the game despite only getting 2 pitches from their starter. Baseball. Funny game. Another 1-2. Rendon flips it foul, and it stays at a ball and 2 strikes. Big game tonight for this guy. He's a Houston Rockets fan. Die-hard basketball guy. I mentioned it last night, but he was more of a basketball player growing up than he was a baseball player. Played through high school. Takes ball 2.
He's probably got like a game of horse against James Harden on his bucket list.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would have a lot of fun going to a shoot around with his team.
It's actually going to time out pretty well for him tonight. Nationals stay home, and it's a night game. 1-2-3 first inning for Alex Wood as Logan Forsythe puts it away. in the series finale, in the season series finale. Dodgers have won 4 of the 5 meetings, including the previous game started by Steven Strasburg in LA. After going 1-2-3 in the first, he faces Grandal to open the second with a strike. Yasmani 1 for 5 in yesterday's game, or yesterday's doubleheader. It's a high fly ball to deep right center field. Harper's back on it. That ball's gone. Yasmani Grandal takes Steven Strasburg deep, and the Dodgers lead it in the second.
Yasmani has not cooled off from the left side. Hasn't gotten a hit versus a left-handed pitcher from the right side here in May, but this Volkswagen replay will show you a very pretty left-handed swing. Powerful. Strasburg coming in the last 3 starts had only given up 1 home run. Will make that 2 home runs in the last 4 starts.
Matt Kemp fouls it off, strike 1. Yeah, you talked about it. Keeping the ball in the yard has been the difference for him lately. Home runs were an issue over his first month. Grandal with his team leading 8th. Kemp takes strike 2.
Strasburg is now tied for the lead that you don't want to be in home runs given up in the National League with 8.
After he had the lowest home run rate in baseball last year. 22. In a lot of ways, 27 was the magic number last night. 27 outs out of the bullpen. And number 27, Matt Kemp, with a game-winning 2-run double. He's been one of the best hitters on the road this year. He's been one of the best hitters with runners in scoring position. Able to lay off. 2-2.
Matt's the perfect example of the Dodgers not following the script from the offseason. I mean, so many things with this team now that you did not expect. Clayton going down, Corey Seager being out for the season, Justin Turner breaking his wrist and being out for almost forever.
Line drive, center field, base hit. Able to lean over the plate and smack that line drive with 2 strikes.
Just enough, and this is when you are swinging it good. When you're fooled, there's enough swing left to give yourself a chance, and Matt did that.
Brings up Puig. LCL in 10 games since returning from the DL, hitting .276 with 3 home runs. First 3 of the season for him. Fouls back the first pitch. One ball, 1 strike. Steven Strasburg, 9th year, coming off his best year. Went 15-4, had an ERA of 2.5. Finished 3rd in Cy Young voting. Went Scherzer, Kershaw, Strasburg. Ground ball. It's short. Turner's got it. He'll step in the bag and throw to first for a double play. Second one Puig has hit into in his last 2 ABs. And the base is wide clear. With 2 out, here's Logan Forsythe. It's a rare start for him against a right-handed starting pitcher, but Chase Utley 5 for 32 in his career against Strasburg. So combine that with how Logan was swinging it yesterday, and Roberts has him in there. Strike 1. Couple of hard hit balls, and then the biggest one was one that he just blooped into center to start that 9th inning rally. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Dave Roberts uses the term, I want to keep him relevant, and you also have to keep your veterans like Utley rested. So sometimes it's a matchup situation, as you pointed out.
Stroke to right center field, base hit for Forsythe. Hustling out of the box, on his way to second, and beating Taylor's throw. 2 out double for Logan Forsythe.
And sometimes it's the way he's swinging the bat and getting him back into his own rhythm. And when you're swinging it good and seeing it good, sometimes it doesn't even matter the handedness of the pitcher. The ball's got to come over the plate. Nomar Garcia Parra points that out all the time. As I don't worry about left, right, or slider or breaking ball. The thing's got to come over the plate, and that's where I want it, and that's when I'll hit it.
It gives Hernandez a 2-out chance here. Kike trying to get his season on track. It began with him with the trickle down of Justin Turner's injury, as getting a semi-regular role, but he struggled. Average around 200. And again, has fallen into a part-time role, and it can be hard when you're trying to battle out of a slump and you're only getting an opportunity every few days.
And you dig a little deeper, and most of that production of that 200 average is when he's been a pinch hitter. So multiple at bats in a day have not been good for him.
Oh, and 2. Roberts getting him a start on this Sunday afternoon against a guy that he homered against last month. Forsythe at second, 2 out. After Grandal's leadoff home run. Oh, 2. Hit him in the box. And we'll do it again. Fastball sprayed foul. Looks like he took the sunglasses off mid-AB. Glassgate here this weekend. Bryce Harper and his shade escapade yesterday. Another 0-2. The slider taken in the dirt. If you didn't see that yesterday, Bryce Harper had very stylish looking sunglasses on. Different than those. Not as big as those. Those things are huge. Those look like the ones that you see after you have eye work done. But then he, during an AB, had just clear, normal looking reading glasses on. And come to find out, it was because he couldn't get his contacts in. A 1-2. A ground ball foul. Hernandez stays alive. Apparently there's something about high humidity, and Davey Martinez said he was having a hard time getting his contacts in too.
Really?
I've never heard that.
I was a contact wearer before I had LASIK, and I would have liked the high humidity to have a little more moisture in the air to have my contacts in, but who knows? Maybe they're made differently. I haven't worn them for about 15 years.
Hernandez continues to battle. To the 8th pitch coming. Forsythe at second after his 2-out double. 1-2 in the dirt. This qualifies as progress for this recent stretch for Hernandez, who's been swinging and missing a ton. He's fouled off 4 pitches and laid off a couple of ones down and away.
We had some alarming swing and miss guys. Cody Bellinger, Austin Barnes, Kike Hernandez. A few of them are coming out of it now, though.
Great take on a changeup to run the count full.
It was an exceptional pitch and an amazing take. Take a look at the Audi pitch cast. Watch the break on this pitch. It looks like a fastball right down the middle, recognizing the spin early and laying off.
Forsythe at second, 2 gone, and Hernandez takes strike 3 on the outside corner. After really working Strasburg, and ultimately is retired, but the Dodgers have broken the scoreless tie with a home run from Grandal at the bottom of the second, 1-0. By El Pollo Loco, here's Alana.
All right, Joe, thanks very much. The Dodgers officially placing left-handed starter Rich Hill on the 10-day disabled list. With that blister on the middle finger of his left hand, they have recalled ambidextrous pitcher Pat Venditti back to the big league club. They've also made another move. Yimi Garcia, who was here as the 26th man for the second game of the doubleheader, has been optioned back to Oklahoma City. But there is some good news on the starting front. Clayton Kershaw was able to throw a 30-pitch bullpen session today. He will throw another one in a few days and then perhaps a rehab assignment. Dave Roberts not making anything official, but did not say it was out of the realm of possibility that Clayton Kershaw may pitch at Dodger Stadium this weekend.
All right. Strike one from Alex Hood to Mark Reynolds.
That's fantastic news. And Dodgers always slow playing the information about Clayton. That's the way he wants it, and I think that's the way I would want it. You don't want to put any bars out there you can't jump over. And so when you get surprising good news, that means he's making tremendous progress.
Reynolds Wilds caught up when Ryan Zimmerman went on the disabled list last week. And in his very first game, hit 2 home runs. Helped lead the Nationals to a victory over the Diamondbacks. Tomahawks this one in the air to center, but Bellinger's there.
You know, with Clayton Kershaw, like Justin Turner, why waste the at-bats in the minor leagues once you feel ready? Well, with Clayton, he could build himself up to 60, 75 pitches in the bullpen session, maybe even a sim game, and all of a sudden, why waste those 75 pitches to build up to 100 in the minors when you could have Clayton Kershaw at the big league level? So I think once he's built up to a point where he's not going to put pressure on the bullpen as far as my pitch count is only 40 or my pitch count's only 60, I think all of a sudden he'll be pitching the big leagues. I'll take him. 1 ball, no strikes on Matt Adams. Sorry, Joe. I would take him, though, at 80%, you know. All right. I mean, it's something that the Giants were talking about with Madison Bumgarner, having him ramp up in the majors. Sharply hit, but look who's waiting. Logan Forsythe in short right, 2 up and 2 down. And you're almost protecting Clayton from Clayton, because once he gets into a big league game and he's on the mound, he's not going to want to come out. So you at least want to have a cushion for to be able to say, you know, hey, 75 is good enough, big guy, for the first time out. You don't want to say he's built up to 40 and then take him to a 45 and go, okay, you got to come out, and then now you got an issue with your starter. Like, emotionally, he's going to be engaged and ready to keep going, and you don't want to push him. Michael A. Taylor had a 3-hit game against Alex Wood at Dodger Stadium in mid-April. Doesn't have a multi-hit game since. Really struggling here in his first year as a full-time guy from the start. It's under it. Lazy pop fly to Puig and right. And for Alex Wood, 6 up and 6 down. To the third we go on DC. The Dodgers in front 1-0 after this 7-pitch second. Friday on an all-new Backstage, Dodgers go behind the scenes of Justin Turner's long-awaited season debut against the Marlins, plus Cody Bellinger meets up with his childhood idol in Miami. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers, presented by Cadillac, on Friday after the postgame show on Sportsnet LA. That game will be against San Diego over the weekend. Homestand is Colorado, San Diego, Philadelphia. Alex Wood taking ball 1 low from Steven Strasburg. And when you talk Phillies, you got to talk Odubel Herrera, who has reached in all 41 games this year. On base streak going back to the end of last season is 45. And if you're wondering about the major league record,
Derek Jeter reached in the first 53 games of the 1999 season. So Herrera's not far off from that. 2-1. Actually be pretty close to, if you were to play in every game and continue to get on base between now and then, pretty close to chasing that number when the Dodgers see him next week. Wood punches a bouncer to Defoe.
Yeah. Reaching base includes an error?
No.
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 So you have to
walk. Hit batsman does count.
And hit. So Joe DiMaggio has the hit streak. I wonder who has the base reaching streak.
Ted Williams.
Ted Williams. See, I knew you'd be on top of that.
1949. He reached an 84 straight.
Wow.
Max Muncy, second trip up there, takes ball one.
Ted had a good eye.
Yeah.
He had a good two eyes.
If I didn't swing at it, it wasn't a strike, Blue.
Pretty much.
Two 2-0. Fades away. 3 balls, no strikes on Muncy. You know, you mentioned Joe DiMaggio, the hit streak champion. That same streak actually turned into an on-base streak of 74 games.
Wow. Well, Ted Williams, you know, he had the intentional walk. He had to beat the shift, but he had an amazing eye and an amazing guy as far as batting average. So I'm sure a lot of fans, not knowing the answer to that, would have dropped that on us.
Muncy's got a 1-out walk. First one issued today by Strasburg. Well, if you're looking at probable pitchers today, and you see for Tampa Bay Sergio Romo, it's not a typo. Sergio Romo is going to make his second start in as many days for the Rays.
Are they having bullpen days?
Kind of.
Very interesting.
Cody Bellinger takes ball one. Top 3 in the Angels order. They're playing in Anaheim. Sergio Romo's always been good against those guys. And so Kevin Cash is having Romo start the game. Yesterday struck out the side and then brought his starter on, and the starter went 6 1/3. I say starter, the guy that's supposed to start.
His long man.
Exactly, whatever you want to call it. Ryan Yarbrough comes on for the second inning, goes 6 1/3. And Romo was so efficient yesterday and so good. Kevin Cash announced after the game, we're going to do it again. Uh-oh. Dave Martinez coming out with the training staff.
Nationals have been decimated with injuries, just like the Dodgers. Just lost Howie Kendrick to season-ending Achilles surgery. It's really hard to say what he's dealing with. Didn't really give much body language. Let's take a look at the last delivery. Oh, right there.
Yeah.
The right leg. He felt something or tweaked something.
And this is after he throws 6 balls in a 7-pitch stretch. Not a fun place to be behind Cody Bellinger. 2-0. Here he comes with a strike. So they're even treating Romo like a starter in that they sent him back to the hotel early last night for him to get some rest. Oh yeah. Pitched his 1 inning, struck out the side, and Kevin said, hey, you got it again tomorrow, kid. Go back and get your rest. Back-to-back strikes, 2-2.
Maybe they'll stretch him to 2 innings.
Do you think that we'll see more teams doing things like that?
I think when they can't formulate a deep rotation and the rotation is really hurting them, they maybe go with a pitching staff and certain guys start when told.
Bellinger hits a low pitch, high to left. Adams backing for the catch.
I mean, Ross Stripling's quotes coming out of last night about when he's informed about what his side work's going to be that day and when he's informed of when he's pitching. The Dodgers do a great job communicating that, but you only can communicate it when you're sure it's going to happen. So I think in some ways it's kind of an open book for Ross. I don't think he's moving out of the rotation anytime soon, though.
Yeah.
Not now.
With 2 out, it's Turner. Well, one thing you could be sure of is that, say you have a reliever who is particularly good against 3 specific hitters, so you can figure you're going to get at the top of the order. Guarantee that he can come in and face him. And that's what the Rays have done with Sergio Romo. And then you get the starter to open the 2nd inning. The other thing is, though, you couldn't do that to just any starter. You couldn't tell Clayton Kershaw, hey, so-and-so's been really good against the top 3 in their order. He's going to start the game and he'll come in the 2nd. Go down to first, not in time to get Muncy.
I can't even speculate what that conversation would be like.
I would love to see the look on his face, and then you could say, hey, you know, you're on candid camera.
Yeah, April Fool's Day. You're coming into the season. You could pull it on him.
Turner lifts this ball to left center field. Michael Taylor camps under it. And that's that for the Dodgers in the 3rd. They lead 1-0 to the bottom half. Dodgers going for the sweep and trying to match a season high 4-game winning streak, and it sure is amazing how quickly things can change, right? I mean, 6-game losing streak, definitely a low point were those 6 losses coming against the Reds and the Marlins, but now trying to sweep the previously hottest team in the league.
Yeah, I don't think the Dodgers play up to the ability of their opponent, but it's sure kind of panning out like that. They have a better record against teams above 500 than the ones below 500.
Pedro Severino opening this inning against Alex Wood as the Nationals look for their first base runner of the day. One and one. Dodgers have won 3 series this year, 1 against the Padres and 2 against the Nationals. Severino lays off. 2-1. 24-year-old catcher. Played a handful of games the last few years in the big leagues. And given an everyday opportunity or something close to it here with Matt Wieters going under the knife for the hamstring surgery. A pop fly into shallow center field. Logan Forsythe shading his eyes, and he still caught it. Oh my goodness. It looked like he had no chance to find that thing in the bright sunshine, but at the last moment found it for the first out.
Cloudy skies here the last couple days, and the players were losing it in the sky because of the clouds. Now it's a beautiful day here, sunshine, as we take a look at the Carls camp battling the sun and winning the battle.
Take that, son. And Alex says, oh, thank the Lord. Strasburg hitting 8th. And Wilmer Defoe, the 9-hitter. 0-1. Some good hitting pitchers on this staff. 0-2.
What an effort yesterday by Scherzer, coming out after 108 pitches, swinging the bat well, getting a base hit, driving in the insurance run. The bullpen let him down, and the Dodgers built a late comeback. It's very rare so far this year for them to score in the 9th inning.
They were 0-22, Oral, before last night when trailing entering the 9th.
And
Camp. Inside corner, strike 3. Alex Wood with his second punch out.
A lot of times when Alex Wood is on, it's about the slider and the changeup, but the fastball has been dominant today. Location to both sides of the plate.
Defoe had been red hot, and that actually, not surprisingly, when you look a little more closely, corresponded with him batting in front of Bryce Harper. And he's cooled off since that changed. Dave Martinez, as he was trying to get Bryce Harper more strikes, hit him leadoff for a couple weeks. And during that time, Defoe batting 9th, Harper on deck behind him. Defoe hit .520 over a 9-game hitting streak. Since they moved Harper out of the leadoff spot, no longer the protection for Defoe. 3 for his last 21. A 1-1 pitch. And a line drive base hit into center. First base runner of the day for the Nats comes with 2 gone in the 3rd.
Well, the first nick or cut on Alex Wood here, but it could turn out to be harmless with 2 outs and just being a single.
Keeps things alive for Trey Turner. Fly to center his first time. Lone hit in this series for Turner, missed being a home run by about 2 feet off the top of the wall in right center. Cranks this one in the air to left center. Kemp goes back on it, on the track, at the wall, and he had just enough on this one. 2-run shot to give the Nationals the lead.
The wind was blowing out and the ball seemed to carry. Today it's not the wind. We've gone up about 20 degrees in temperature. This ball's got outstanding backspin. Matt Kemp looks like he's got it timed, but it just kept carrying and carrying to the deepest part out there in left center.
Now Harper, strike one. Now the Nationals came into this series leading the NL in home runs, but that is their first in these 3 games. Quickly 0-2 on Harper. Even with the struggles, those 13 homers, tied for the league lead with Ozzie Albies of Atlanta, of all people. Down the line to left. Out of play. Dirt, 1-2. First hitting coach Bryce Harper had was his dad Ron. He used to take him in the backyard in Las Vegas, and instead of doing soft toss with wiffle balls or even baseballs, he'd pitch him sunflower seeds. He'd pitch him bottle caps. Pitch him beans. Try to refine that hand-eye coordination.
Talk about barrel awareness. Really understanding how you move to put the end of the bat at something so small.
Strikes out swinging for the 2nd time against Alex Wood today, but the Nationals have taken the lead on a Turner home run. LA is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And by Jack in the Box. Try the new Cholula Buttery Jack, part of the Buttery Jack family, only at Jack in the Box. Trey Turner's 2-run home run has the Nationals in front. Dodgers also have a home run. It came from Grandal, but his was a solo shot, as the last 17 have been for the Dodgers. And this is something we discussed last night. This is your chances of winning, and this is all of baseball over the last 5 years when you do these 3 things. We will throw that back up there in a second. As Yasmani Grandal takes strike 1 from Steven Strasburg. When you hit a solo home run, which the Dodgers are doing as much as anybody, you win 57% of the time. It really jumps your chances of winning. But it goes up to 70% when you homer with somebody on base. The Dodgers haven't done that since May 1st. If you hit a 3-run home run, that's the big one. You win 80% of your games. They have 1 3-run home run this year and 1 grand slam. Strasburg's 1-2. Grandal strikes out, 1 away. Matt Kemp singled his first time and comes up with the bases empty and 1 out. A 2-1 game in the 4th. Slashes the first pitch foul. When you're looking at the different positive things you can have happen throughout a game, if you could choose one of the positive things, 3-run home run is among the best things you can have happen to you in a baseball game. Obviously, grand slam is better, sure, but you have a better chance of winning if you hit a 3-run home run than you do when you get a quality start. You have a better chance of winning with a 3-run home run than you do scoreless relief.
Now the great manager for the Baltimore Orioles, Earl Weaver.
Ground ball, Defoe, short center. Heck of a play. 2 gone.
When Earl Weaver was asked about guys on his team and who are the leaders, he said, the leader on our team is a 3-run homer. This was a nice play by Defoe up the middle, ends up on the outfield grass, shows off a very strong second baseman's arm.
With 2 out, here's Puig. Taking ball 1. A big part of the issue for the Dodgers this year is that they've not hit well enough with runners in scoring position to overcome the lack of home run production. Puig flies this one to center field. Michael Taylor with an easy play to complete a 1-2-3-4. T-Mobile presents Hats Off for Heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, T-Mobile stands ready to serve all military families. Abe wins again. His 9th win of the year to lead the Presidents. That's for real. They track the winners. Anthony Rendon starts the 4th and takes strike 1 from Alex Wood. Dodgers with a solo homer from Grandal. The Nationals with a 2-run homer from Turner. One and one. Two and one. Up in New York, Clay Buchholz in his Diamondbacks debut has given up 1 hit over 5 shutout innings. And the Diamondbacks lead Noah Syndergaard and the Mets 1-0 in the 6th. Arizona's dropped 9 of 10. The lead in the division just a half game over the Rockies, who play the Giants later today, before heading down to LA.
Dodgers 3-6 in their last 9 and gained 2.5 games. That's why you say it's been a blessing.
There's probably a certain amount of pride that comes from being in a really good division like the Dodgers were last year. But when you're near the bottom of it, you'd prefer that it's not good. The National League West right now, and like the American League Central, kind of a similar predicament there, although even worse. Cleveland's in first in the Central at 22-22.
Dodgers' first goal is to get back to 500, but seem to be in such a bad division to get back to 500 and be in first.
Left center field, Cody Bellinger glides over to catch it.
Seeing eye single, Texas leaguer, swinging bunt, Baltimore chop. All that matters is it looks like a line drive in the box score in your march to $5.6 million. Download Beat the Streak today in the App Store on MLB.com/BTS.
Mark Reynolds with 1 out. One and 0. Fly to center field his first time. 1 for 13 lifetime against Alex Wood now. Left center field. He's got his second hit against Wood. It's a 1-out single in the 4th.
You can see with this topspin put on this line drive, the uppercut of Reynolds matching that pitch.
It's only the 3rd hit against Wood, but he trails 2-1. Matt Adams comes up, 1 on, 1 out. Strike 1. For a short time last night, it looked like Adams might be the hero for Washington with that pinch hit 2-run single. One ball and 1 strike. Good stop by Grandal. 2-1 on the heavily tatted Matt Adams. Actually didn't have any tattoos until 5 years ago. And started doing that right arm, that left arm there, the sleeve that he's got tattooed. That's a good versus evil theme. Two and two. Last offseason, he spent 3 8-hour sessions at the parlor getting that left arm done. Intricate. It's amazing art. Woods 2-2 pitch to him. Grounded foul.
If I was to do something like that, I think I'd be the guy that go ahead and do it, and I'll look when you're done. I wouldn't want to watch it. Not because of pain. I just would like to see it completely finished. Like, what if you like lose confidence in the artist halfway through and go, how are you going to fix that?
Right. So do you close your eyes during your haircuts?
No, but I don't really look in the mirror.
Adams couldn't lay off. Alex Wood has his 4th strikeout of the game. Where do you look?
My phone, hang out. No, I'm not really paying attention because I've learned over the years the haircut doesn't look real good at the beginning. You got all those clips in your hair, holding the hair in the other opposite of the way they're working. And
clips, huh?
Well, you know, some places that's the style they use. They put clips in.
Okay.
You never had clips?
No, haven't had clips in there. Michael Taylor takes ball one inside. Flied out to right field his first time. Nationals are hoping that him facing Alex Wood can help get him right. He has owned Wood in his career. Down the line to right. That'll peel into the seats. Strike one. Strike two.
We talked about Michael Taylor and his long limbs, the long arms, and if you watch him get in the box and get ready to hit, he holds the bat and wiggles it down by his shoes. That's just telling me I'm a low ball hitter. If I'm going down there, I'm making sure it's in the dirt. Other than that, I'd like to go above the waist.
What they do, climbs the ladder to get it. Routine and center for Bellinger. And a scoreless 4th for Alex Wood.
Off, and couple of nights ago, actually about a week and change ago now, when the Dodgers were in Mexico that Friday night. You guys remember that combined no-hitter, the first in Dodgers history. We had 5 innings of no-hit combined ball last night, but that other scorecard from Jaime Jarrín, well, that's going to the Hall of Fame. Apparently, Cooperstown contacted Jaime Jarrín, of course, who was there doing our Spanish radio broadcast for the Dodgers and Padres series, and they wanted the scorecard, so Jaime was able to get Dave Roberts to sign it, as well as all 4 of the pitchers that were involved in that combined no-hitter. So the scorecard on its way to Cooperstown.
That is awesome. I hope they put it right next to Jaime's rightful plaque there. Ball 1 on Logan Forsythe. And a 2-1 game in the 5th inning. All the runs coming off homers in this one. Solo shot Grandal, 2-run shot Trey Turner. 2 balls, no strikes, Logan Forsythe. Strasburg 3 Ks, 1 walk. All 3 hits that he's allowed came in the 2nd inning. 2-1. Two and two.
He has really good stuff. You know, when he's locating and competing, he's one of the best. Fastball's got great life and velocity. The off-speed stuff, tremendous movement.
Moves himself right into the dirt there, and then got a chunk of Severino.
Where all that equipment, and then one hits you where it's not. Some nice nerves there on the inside of your knee. That area right there is very sensitive.
Forsythe, who doubled his first time up, leading off this 5th inning. The Dodgers down a run. A payoff pitch. He fouls it back. We'll do it again. Hernandez and then Wood. The bottom 3rd of the order here. Tries to lay off and does for a leadoff walk. Logan Forsythe has really looked good the last few days.
When he has swung the bat, he has swung it aggressively and made firm contact, and he's also worked some very nice walks.
Hernandez. That was kind of the calling card for him last year, was the walks, and that was as much because of injury as anything. Hernandez drives this ball to left center field and deep, and Kike Hernandez has put the Dodgers in front. How about a home run with somebody on base? 3-2 in the 5th. Second time he's gotten Strasburg this year.
Fuck yeah, TK. Bring it back. Bring it back.
You want to pick on Strasburg early. The league hitting almost 400 when the first 2 pitches are put in play. PK picking on number 1.
6th of the season for him. And for Steven Strasburg, who you mentioned had given up just 1 home run on his previous 3 starts, all of them wins, has allowed 2 today. Strike 3 on Wood.
nice to see Turner Ward smiling with one of his hitters. That has been a part of the Dodger turnaround. They haven't reached the 4-run mark yet, but in the last 4 games have gotten 4 runs or more in each game. Won 3 out of 4 of those.
Ball one on Muncy. First home run in 19 days for the Dodgers with somebody on base. After 17 consecutive solo shots. So as we detailed earlier, their chance of winning this game now, the math would tell you, goes to 70%. Ground ball ricochets off of the mound to second and depot. Now where it gets complicated is that the Nationals have hit a 2-run homer as well, and so they both, by that logic, have 70% chance of winning.
So do they cancel each other out? Now we go to the Dodgers solo shot, which is 57%.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's make up our own formulas.
I like it. And if the Nationals happen to hit a solo home run, then we solve it with a game of marbles on home plate. Bellinger's home run last night was as majestic of a blast as he's hit this year. The straightaway center. Takes the first pitch low. Takes another one downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. Going away with a fastball. Bellinger fouling it off. 2-1. Cody got hit by that return throw from the catcher Spencer Keyboom yesterday on the bill of his helmet. And he joked around after the doubleheader. If that means I'm on a homer later in the night, I'll get hit in the helmet with a return throw every day. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It didn't hurt, but he said it was noisy. He said it was really loud.
Like a ping, he said.
Yeah.
They didn't miss actually hitting his face by more than an inch. Chasers there, strike 3. But the Dodgers have flipped things around with a 2-run shot from Kike Hernandez. Halfway home in D.C., the Dodgers gunning for a sweep of the Nationals. Solo shot from Grandal, 2-run shot from Hernandez, and a 3-2 lead. Alex Wood to Pedro Severino with strike one.
Alex Wood is feeling really good right now. You're into the outing. You were down, pitching your tail off. Now you have the lead. Pitch count well under control. It's amazing what runs can do to your energy level.
Alex Wood a year ago 16-3. 0-4 right now. Severino with a hot shot to short off a bounce. Hernandez. Have an inning, Kike Hernandez. The go-ahead 2-run home run, and now spears a hot shot for the first out.
Early leader as the player of the game, not only with the big bat, but the glove. And we have seen highlight film play after highlight film play when Kike is in the field. Outstanding eye-hand coordination to glove it, and after he's got it, that arm is so strong. Wonder what his spin rate is.
Strike on Strasburg. Strike two. Strikeout, one of the 4 for Alex Wood so far. Hit softly to Turner at third. 2 up and 2 down.
What's better than watching baseball and eating Dodger dogs? Tomorrow, May 21st, we're offering $1 Dodger dogs to all fans in attendance. Buy up to 5 Dodger dogs per person per transaction tomorrow when the Dodgers host the Rockies. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Get your mustard and onions ready, Hershiser.
Oh, I would be. I might start adding that if I was going to read that some more for people, but tomorrow I would start adding the condiments.
1 ball, no strikes on Wilmer Difo. You mean to your read?
Yeah. Tomorrow when the Dodgers host the Rockies, get your Dodger dogs, 5 per customer per transaction with mustard and onions. No extra charge.
Yeah, no, they won't even charge you for those. Fly ball to center field. That sends Bellinger back. Can really fly on humid days here, and that thing does all the way to the wall off of the diminutive Difo. Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by BMW. See a Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers or visit SoCalBMW.com. Some St. Louis style ribs in DC. Babies look good, huh?
They look very good. I like my ribs dry, maybe sauce on the side. I might struggle through those.
Yeah. Listen to the crunch. You got, seems like pretty tender meat, but a nice crunchy crust. Steven Strasburg has given up 2 home runs in this game, and the Dodgers lead 3-2.
We're talking Dodger dogs and pictures of gorgeous ribs. I'm starved now.
Didn't bring any snacks to get you through it?
No, nothing healthy enough to eat in front of you.
Now, I don't judge. Justin Turner with some fans in the house, leading off the 6th inning. Ground out to second and a fly out to left. Strike 1. Strasburg cuts it by him. Turner smacks one to left center field that Michael Taylor will run under for the first out of the 6th. Brings up Yasmani Grandal, and that brings us to our top tier play of the game, brought to you by Arco. Started the scoring with a home run in the 2nd.
Yasmani from that left side this year has been carrying this team. He and Matt Kemp, and he's gotten a lot of high fives throughout the year. This catcher has done a number. He even played first base yesterday.
Looked good, too.
Yeah. Hot shot. It's the only position you can leave catcher from and end up with a maybe slightly bigger glove, especially in length.
2-0. We talked about Matt Adams' tattoos. Yasmani always wanted to get tattoos, but his mom, Maria, begged him not to until at least after he got through high school, and he listened. So he got through high school. Days later, went and got his first. And his mom had to sit down the first time that he told her he had gotten one and wanted to show her. Eventually, she was okay with it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. What are you going to do at that point? He's a grown-up. Caught the corner for strike 3. Number 6 for Strasburg. 2 gone in the 6th.
An outstanding curveball. He got Max Muncy early with that backdoor curveball that just catches that outside edge. Gets Grandal with that one.
Guy who struck out 14 in his major league debut. Sports Illustrated called it the most hyped pitching debut the game has ever seen. The guy who's drafted first overall just 1 year before. Drops curve in for a strike on Matt Kemp. Debut as a 21-year-old, 2010. Now his 9th year.
This place was electric. I was here covering the game for a national company, and it was a lot of fun to see this ballpark that excited. I watched the game from the porch right behind home plate.
I think you're allowed to say ESPN.
Am I allowed?
Yeah.
I was just being sensitive.
Our producer Mike Levy said, what company was that? Were you here for UPS?
Xerox.
Strasburg to Kemp with a 1-1. And Kemp watches a fastball miss. Ball 2. He was a late bloomer, though. I mean, while he became a huge prospect, when he was in high school, completely out of shape. His record as a high school junior was 1-10. Kemp digs it out, flies it to center. Back goes Taylor, still going, and it bangs off the wall. Now Kemp will hold on at second with a 2-out double.
He has proved how good his swing is this year and over the course of his career, but how strong he is. That's like one hand. Saw him hit balls in Miami, up and away fastballs like a left-handed pull hitter. And he did the right thing, pulling up at second base and not forcing the issue to third with 2 outs, already in scoring position.
For Puig, pitch count climbing for Strasburg. This will be his 94th of the day. SEL hacks the first one in the air down the line. And foul ground. Defoe won't get there. Dougal Harper. Wasn't it cool to see the emotion Matt Kemp showed after his game-winning double last night?
It was. He is all in. He's all in with taking care of his body. He's all in with being back with the Dodgers. He's all in with his teammates. And he has been an integral part of what could be a special season as they turn this thing around.
Trying to match his season-high 4-game winning streak today. Trying to send the Nationals to their 3rd straight defeat after they were 13-2 in their last 15 coming in. Puig with a fly ball to center field. Michael Taylor. And the Dodgers finished in the 6th, up 3-2.
Go deep into the ball game, guys, considering that the bullpen was asked to get 27 outs last night in game 2 of this series. When I asked Dave if he needed to stay away from anybody today, he said very likely that Kenley Jansen, the Dodgers closer, who picked up 2 saves yesterday, and Pedro Baez not available to come out of the bullpen today. Why don't we just get like a complete game out of Wood? That'd be great.
Well, so far, Lana, those 5 innings, and he's thrown 71 pitches. Trey Turner, top of the order for the Nationals. He strokes the first pitch that he sees to left center. Bellinger runs it down. Well positioned, and then he just glides. Such a smooth athlete, picking it off for out number 1.
He went to some shorter, choppy steps early in this route because he knew he had enough speed to get there. So he started calming his eyes down and getting a line on it. But the first few steps, he had an outstanding read route, and then it allowed him just casually make that catch.
1 pitch, 1 out after he needed only 8 pitches to work a 1-2-3 fifth. And now Harper, who he struck out swinging both times. Season high for Wood, 96. And his pitch count very much under control despite having to throw 20 in the first. On a strike on Harper. A few very efficient innings.
Yeah, that first inning was a little rocky, but the 7s, the 8s, and now 3 here so far keep it in line.
Ground ball right side. Logan Forsythe. The Dodgers have held Bryce Harper to a 1 for 10 in this series. Anthony Rendon. Dodgers 3 runs on 5 hits. Nationals 2 runs on only 3 hits. 2 of those 3 hits back to back. A Defoe single, a Turner homer. Rendon 0 for 2, but he's lined out twice. 1 ball, no strikes. Alex Wood, the 27-year-old from Charlotte, North Carolina. Pitches 2-0. He misses ball 3 on Rendon. It's always been good against Washington. This is his 12th start against the Nationals, and as we mentioned earlier, his numbers so high because he pitched in the division for a while with Atlanta. A 4-pitch walk to Rendon.
See Alex Wood's frustration there. 2 out, nobody on, and a 4-pitch walk is a cardinal sin, especially because a scratch base hit and then a Turner home run with 2 outs is how Washington got their 2 spot.
And it brings up Reynolds, who is 1 of 2 today. He had the 30 home runs last year in Colorado. Perfectly placed for strike 1. Played off. 1-1. A pop up. Muncy shading his eyes from the sun. He's got it. And that's the inning. Anthony Rendon, I think, fooled everybody for a moment there. They were questioning themselves. Wait a minute, that's the 3rd out, right? The Rockies coming in tomorrow. German Marquez starts the first game. Then Chad Bettis, then Kyle Freeland. Off day on Thursday. Padres in over the weekend, and a long homestand concludes with a 4-game series against the Phillies. Joe Davis, Orel Hershiser, and Alana Rizzo back here in Washington, D.C., where the Dodgers are trying to win their 4th in a row to match a season-high winning streak. Logan Forsythe takes high, and ball 1 from Strasburg. Forsythe has been on in 5 of his 7 plate appearances this weekend. 1-1. Sammy Solis starting to warm with that pitch count nearing 100. One and 2. And Pat Venditti back and forth and back and forth. He was sent to Oklahoma City yesterday and then recalled today with Rich Hill getting placed on the DL. Forsythe can't lay off. He's the first out of the 7th. Brings up Kike Hernandez, and his home run right now the difference.
He crushed this ball. First pitch fastball. They were trying to go away. It leaked over, low and in. And Kike didn't miss it. That feels really good, starting a game and getting a big hit.
He's got 6 hits this month, and 3 of them have been homers. Takes ball 1 in the dirt.
No surprise, they started him off with a first pitch slider. Some pitchers can develop an ego and say, oh, you hit that one, try this. Same pitch. They're going opposite. Slider and then curveball to get the count to 1-1.
Strasburg over 100 pitches now. A 1-1. In there for strike 2. Orel's leaning out of the booth like he's going to catch that. And you're only 700 feet away from catching it.
Is that all?
Wow. Stan Kasten was joking around with us before the game. He had a big hand in building this ballpark when he was running the Nationals. He said the only reason we put you this high is because there wasn't a level higher. He's obviously joking. Great view up here, though. Count evens on Hernandez.
Of the birds and the clouds,
and the moon,
the Capitol.
Yeah, there is a view of the Capitol, but it's almost completely obstructed now by different buildings that have popped up.
And they're really building a baseball village out here in left field. All the apartment buildings and hotels going up.
Kind of like St. Louis.
I'm seeing 7 cranes within eyesight. 8, 9 now, including right field.
Hernandez has worked it full at the All-Star game coming here this summer.
They better hurry up.
Strasburg ready for a payoff. Hernandez takes ball 4. He's got the 2-run home run, and here after falling behind, he earns the walk and a 1-out base runner for LA.
Be one of the first 40,000 fans in attendance on May 30th when the Dodgers host the Phillies at 7:10 and take home a Chris Taylor bobblehead celebrating his NLCS co-MVP award courtesy of Pirelli. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
That's our first look at that particular bobblehead. Good to see it has the perfectly manicured beard. Alex Wood showing bunt. Pops it foul. Chris's family will be headed out to Los Angeles for the big bobblehead night. Got a bunch of family in town for this series. 20 friends at the game today. A dozen tickets that he put aside for his family. Bit of a bummer in that this is the day that Dave Roberts decided to give him off. They had a lot of family in yesterday too. Wood takes strike two.
Alex with 82 pitches, so Dave Roberts letting him bat here and has the lead. Been over 90 pitches this year, being his 10th start 5 times.
Lays this one down. They throw to second in time. Very aggressive play by Severino, because I think that thing was probably going to roll foul. Wood would have been out anyways.
Severino was aggressive, but Trey Turner at shortstop was not. He has Alex Wood slow and getting out of the box and not a fleet-footed guy. He doesn't actually even think about turning that into a double play. With a pitcher running and a bunt like that and a nice play by your catcher, pick it and just follow through with it and just see what happens.
Pitching coach Derek Lilliquist comes out. Strasburg at 109 pitches, and the leadoff man Max Muncy coming up. Washington, the only staff in the National League that averages more than 6 innings per start.
That's something the Dodgers are looking to improve on, and Ross Stripling's start changed that average, but then all of a sudden you only get 2 pitches out of Rich Hill. He has to go on the DL, so that hurt their starters average in a big way. Stripling goes 6. Rich Hill doesn't even get an out, so that just shows a lot of consistency from the Nationals and their starting pitchers and how deep they go, because you get those short starts by multiple guys in a rotation. It is hard to protect your bullpen and eat innings.
Muncy, the leadoff man today. He's 0 for 2, but has reached on a walk. Takes ball 1. Falls over the corner for a strike. We were talking our most serious Dodger position players yesterday. We passed that conversation along to one of the winners, Chris Taylor, and he said we should have included Austin Barnes. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because you probably should include Max Muncy too. 2-1.
Yeah, I think as Max joins the Dodgers and okay, I'm up here as a fill-in on the roster, you kind of just minding your P's and Q's. Then he started to see a little success. You started to see some expressions start to come out. Now that he's like, they're looking to get his bat in the order and moving guys around to make sure he can play, you might see more and more personality.
Alex Wood takes second. Stolen base for Alex Wood, with Strasburg paying no attention to him. Severino didn't have any chance.
He gets a running jump almost. They're playing behind him, and he took a generous lead. And the first flinch from Strasburg, he was off.
First career stolen base for Alex, and it could be a big one if Muncy can come through with 2 out here. Takes it in the dirt, full count. In front of the largest crowd of the weekend, 40,000 here in D.C., which qualifies as a sellout. Dodgers trying to finish off the sweep. They lead at 3-2 in the 7th. They have Alex Wood at second with 2 out. And a tiring Strasburg into the glove, ready to throw a 3-2. Muncy watches ball 4. Second walk he's drawn today. 4th one issued by Strasburg is going to end his afternoon.
He punched out Muncy on the same exact pitch, but it was a little bit more of the strike zone in the first inning. And Muncy, why are you comfortable having him anywhere in the batting order? He's able to have good at-bats no matter where he's hitting.
Strasburg hadn't walked more than 2 in an outing this year. Walks 4 today. Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Steven Strasburg taken out of the game at 115 pitches. The book not yet closed. The men at first and second his responsibility. Who's in, who's out, brought to you by In and Out. It's Sammy Solis for Cody Bellinger. That's strike 1. You saw that Solis has given up 1 home run this season. It was to Cody Bellinger yesterday.
A fastball, and it was up, and Cody had been missing those, but not anymore. Starting to lock in on the high fastball.
An interesting choice for Davey Martinez to go to. Less than 24 hours later. Gets ahead of him here 0-2.
Fastball, curveball change. You get more fastball change-ups if you're right-handed. You get more fastball curveballs if you're left-handed.
Two on, 2 out. 0-2 to Bellinger. Yanked down the line, foul. Cody 0 for 3 today. Happy to have Steven Strasburg out of there. Now 0 for 11 against him. And happy to be done with the Nationals overall, because he is still hitless against Strasburg and Scherzer in his career. Another 0-2.
When you see Cody make that kind of blocking swing where he really doesn't release his hands, that's his version of kind of shortening up. It looks like a little bit of an emergency hack, but he's trying to read the ball as long as possible and use a little shorter swing.
takes away ball one. Sammy Solis has been used more than any pitcher in the National League, with 3 relievers in that staff that are in the top 12 in the league in appearances. He gets Bellinger to chase and finish the Dodgers in the 7th. We stretch at Nationals Park. Steven Strasburg out of the game with the Dodgers in front 3-2.
Dodgers host the Rockies at 7:10. Be one of the first 40,000 fans in attendance and receive a Corey Seager bobblehead commemorating his back-to-back Silver Slugger Awards, courtesy of Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Just before he got ready to throw his final warm-up pitch, Alex Wood started stretching around and looking like he's cramping again, which he dealt with a couple starts ago. Nate Lucero, the trainer's out there, so is Dave Roberts. He gets ready to start his 7th inning of work, still with plenty left. He's only thrown 82 pitches.
We had just lost Rich Hill for probably a couple of weeks after throwing just 2 pitches yesterday in the night game. Alex finishing his warm-ups here right now. Feel a little tightness. I mean, probably the most he's going to go is one more inning. And do you want to risk another piece in the rotation when you're already thin? I think Dave Roberts makes the prudent decision with Alex.
So Alex Wood, after 6 very good innings, is ready to open the 7th, but the cramps are going to get him. And instead of needing probably 6 outs out of the bullpen, they'll need to get 9 less than 24 hours after they got all 27. Through 6 innings, still having only thrown 82 pitches. So the bullpen gets involved earlier than they would have needed to otherwise. It's Tony Cingrani, who in Game 2 last night faced 4 batters, hit 1, walked 1, gave up a hit, and was charged with 3 runs in his first game off of the DL.
It happened to Hurry, only 10 pitches thrown. The 2 guys the Dodgers are trying to avoid, Dave Roberts saying that most definitely Pedro Baez and Kenley Jansen not available. It would have been nice to get 1 more inning out of Alex Wood to shorten the game for the pen, but a little larger hurdle now to jump over.
It's Matt Adams to lead it off in a 3-2 game in the 7th, with all the runs today coming off home runs. Adams takes strike 1. Solo shot from Grandal, 2-run shot from Hernandez. For the Nationals, it was a 2-run shot from Trey Turner back in the 3rd.
The tenderness in Alex Wood's legs comes on the day when he gets his first big league stolen base, so they will probably shut him down from the running game, take away the green light.
So you're gonna get to keep the bag?
I don't know. The Nationals don't do that. If we were at home, maybe.
Cingrani falls behind 2-1.
The leading lady is huge. Left on left situation.
Ball 3. Taylor and Severino to follow in this inning. On a 3-1, Adams fouls it off, and it's 3-2.
Reverse order from game 2 yesterday of Taylor and Adams. Taylor was intentionally walked, and then Adams pinch hit, and that made it look like the Nationals were going to win when he got that key hit.
Put him up 4-3, or put him up 3-2, and they added one on Scherzer's base hit. That made it 4-2 before the Dodgers rallied to win. Cingrani comes back to strike out Adams.
A high breaking ball. He misfires, but so does Adams. So Cingrani wins the battle.
And gets that leading lady you're talking about.
Huge shutdown innings and first pitch strikes and first hitter out.
Michael Taylor with 1 out. Alex Wood very invested in this one, looking for his first win of the year. Pops the mid on the outside corner with a strike. Well, if you had Eric Goodell getting his first win of the season in a Dodger uniform before Alex Wood, you're a winner. 0-2. Goodell got the win in his Dodger debut last night.
I'm sure a certain portion of our viewers are going, who is Eric Goodell?
Right. If you didn't tune in last night, wouldn't expect you to know.
Right-handed reliever claimed off of waivers from the Seattle Mariners, and the Dodgers activated him. He's got a fastball around 93 miles an hour, a curveball and a split, and he showed very well last night.
That's him. Former New York Met. Speaking of, the Mets trailed the Diamondbacks 1-0 after 5. They tied it in the 6th. They scored 3 in the 7th and lead it 4-1 in the 9th. Mets trying to hand Arizona its 10th loss in its last 11 games. A full count on Michael Taylor.
Could we be playing the first place Rockies when we go home?
If that score holds and the Rockies beat the Giants today, then yes. It's a half-game deficit at the start of action. Got him swinging with a high fastball. I'm excited about it too, but it's only the 2nd out.
I think we should start playing music after every strikeout. Yeah, strikeouts. Just go to the music, and then we'll go to the replay. High cheese gets him. And you said fastball, and that's one of the things you look at with Cingrani after going through that dead arm period with the shoulder. The velocity is back up to normal.
Severino with 2 out. You know, if the Giants beat the Rockies, Arizona would be in first place, but Arizona, Colorado, and the Giants would be separated by 2 games. Goodell has started to warm. And it starts to look, oh, that backswing gets Grandal. Starts to look a little bit like the National League Central, where the Brewers, the Pirates, the Cubs, and the Cardinals separated by 2.5. 1-2. Two balls and two strikes on Severino. Grani here in the 7th with Wood leaving the apparent cramps. The Dodgers trying to get out of here with a series sweep of the Washington Nationals, who were 13-2 in their last 15 games coming in. Hadn't lost back-to-back games all month. Right now, his home run, the difference, a 2-run bullet against Steven Strasburg in the 5th. Tony Cingrani to Pedro Severino with a 2-2, and he strikes out the side in the 7th. Now you can hit the tunes, DJ.
Well, the fastball has been really good. That high breaking ball gets one, but that's the heater up around the shoulders, and then the breaking ball down. 3 up, 3 down, 3 Ks.
The 8th, we check into the studio for a preview of Access Sportsnet Dodgers, presented by your Southern California Ford dealers.
Straight ahead on Access Dodgers, Dave Robertson Company looking to put the clamps on a sweep, plus plays of the week, right, Jay?
Solid start from Wood and Kike Hernandez, living La Vida Loca.
We'll see you after the game.
It must be a talking baseball, because when you have it in your hand, you get to talk. So
right.
Nomar didn't get the ball.
Wander Suero on to pitch the 8th inning. Justin Turner takes ball 1. Yeah, isn't that a game in like kindergarten?
Yep, I was going to. Yep, for sure.
It's Oral's turn to speak. He has the ball. Turner floats one to center field. Michael A. Taylor for the first out.
Most of us that played in the big leagues had a ball, a bat, or a glove in our hand pretty much 24 hours a day. I slept with my glove underneath my pillow.
Always?
Growing up, always had it with me. We didn't have backpacks in that day, so I didn't carry it around from class to class, but I'll bet you in this day I would have my glove in my backpack and a ball. Game of catch might break out at any time.
If you didn't have backpacks, how did you get your books around?
You carried them on your hip. And
wow. Grandal pops onto left center. Michael A. Taylor and Matt Adams come together, and Taylor cuts him off to catch it. A little too close for comfort out there for those two with all the injury issues Washington has had, but they do get the second out.
That was that was like a pre-text way to tell a girl you kind of liked her. You say, hey, I'll help you carry your books.
Nice. Yeah. Maybe write her a note, slip it in one of her books.
You could do that.
That's how you're so jacked, huh? Carrying those books around all those years.
It really helped my curveball, wrapping my fingers around like 3 or 4. Those math textbooks were really thick. History.
2 out for Kemp.
Not a big fan of a history textbook. It's a good game we got going here.
Sure is. Dodgers trying to sweep Washington. Inside 2-0. Kemp with the #1 road average in baseball with his 2 hits today, hitting .406. Be the first road player, if it a long season ago, but last time a guy hit .400 on the road, 2004, Ichiro at .405. No swing, 3-1.
Good call.
Your goggles are blue. Kemp walks. And again, with a long way to go caveat, he's probably not going to hit .406 all season on the road. But if he did, it'd be the highest road average in a season since Stan the Man hit .415 on the road in 1948. And he kept alive for Puig.
This is a good matchup for Yasiel. Only a cut fastball and a curveball on the mound, but 85% of the time it's the cutter.
Checks his swing and fouls it off.
You would like to have that one back and have the count be 1-1. Instead, you're going to have to dig yourself out from an 0-2 count.
Stays alive. Wander Suero, major league debut this year as a 26-year-old. He was great last year, but never got the call. It's a really disappointing September for him. Sixth game in the bigs, yet to allow an earned run. Native of the Dominican Republic. Kemp off of first, and 0-2 to Puig. And a fly ball to left center field. Adams back. Puig has gone deep again. The third Dodger home run of the day makes it 5-2 in the 8th.
Yasiel did a nice job battling against the cut fastball, hanging in there. And they finally decided to try and slow him down with a curveball. Didn't get it quite low enough, and Yasiel put a very sweet swing on it.
Cool shot. And now Forsythe taking strike one. Dodgers hadn't had a home run with somebody on base since May 1st. Second one today with a man
30
out.
of them dummies, Patty. That's all you need. 30
Puig,
dummies.
after going the first almost 2 months of this season without a homer, he's hit 4 in his last 7 games.
What a capsule on that replay there. Yasiel swing, young man sticking his hand in the air and then high-fiving dad. That was baseball.
Our director, Dustin Denty. Don't let him hear it, but nobody better in the business.
He is so good.
Our producer, Mike Levy, says, don't worry, he's not listening.
He's not one to handle compliments very well.
Where do you rank the American flag popsicle among other popsicles? Hold that thought. Chopper to third. Rendon. Dodgers have extended the lead to 5-2 with a 2-run shot from Yasiel Puig, the third Dodger home run of the day. Now the bullpen tries to hang on to a sweep. Last of the 8th inning coming up. And Tony Cingrani had warmed and was ready to go. But Dave Roberts now going to come out and change. Jock Peterson joins the game in a double switch. And instead of Tony Cingrani, back into the bullpen they go. And it looks like Eric Goodell going to come on for his second appearance in as many days as a Dodger. Starting for Colorado, Walker Buehler trying to have a bounce-back outing after his worst start as a Dodger.
Yeah, with Walker, you can just see all the tools, and he was putting it together and growing. But there's going to be growing pains. You're going to take a step back, but I think for him, it's going to be like 3 steps forward, 1 step back when he has those tough outings.
Eric Goodell on to pitch. Got the win in his Dodger debut last night. And making his major league debut is the 19-year-old phenom Juan Soto. He was just brought up today. Major league debut at the same age. Another left-handed hitter in Washington made it. And Bryce Harper was also against the Dodgers. And Soto takes strike 1. Started the season in low A. Climbed to high A, then to double A. And making his major league debut before he plays a game at the AAA level. 1 ball and 1 strike. Look at those numbers. Those home runs and RBIs lead minor league baseball.
People here in Washington know him. A kind of a smattering applause when he came up. People understanding that follow the Nats closely. How big a prospect he is.
They're forced into having to dip a little bit farther into the minors than they otherwise would have with another injury. Howie Kendrick lost for the season with a blown Achilles. Juan Soto's first career at bat ends in a strikeout as Goodell pulls the string on that splitter. There will be more. There will be better times.
That's a very late breaking splitter. It's up, or you have to offer at it as a hitter. If that late break makes you swing and miss.
Wilmer Defoe. Always chokes up on that bat. Even to begin the AB, it's what, 3-4 inches up on the handle. You don't see much of that anymore, do you?
Sure don't. Joey Votto.
Anthony Rizzo will do it with 2 strikes. And Bryce Harper's gloves. Hey, just because I posed the question, red, white, and blue popsicle, you rank it favorably, or?
No, it'd be down on the low end for me.
I'm with you. Scott Alexander.
In the day, orange. Like a good orange popsicle.
Defoe pulls his hands even farther and sends a teardrop to second. Logan Forsythe throws him out with a nice stretch from Muncy. He likes his. Just straight orange, not like an orange creamsicle.
Oh, well,
that's a different category.
We're going creamsicle. Yeah, that's different. I like creamsicle.
2 up and 2 down for Goodell. And now to the top of the order, Trey Turner.
I mean, we get back in the day, like we said, you know, you could carry a girl's books. That was a way to tell you kind of liked her. Back in the day, there was the good humor man. And after dinner, the truck would come around. You hear the bell through your screen door and run out. The ice cream truck was coming around.
1 ball, no strikes. What are the ones where you know, they're liquid, but then you freeze them?
Oh, those are what are those? Like Slurpee Pops? What are those? Something. What are those? Frosty Freeze? I don't know what those.
I'm being called. I'm being told they're Otter Pops.
That might
That's
have
not
been
what we
a secondary name, maybe. Otter. No, what was it? I can see it. And you cut them with the plastic, and your mom's cutting it for you up there between, and then you cut the end and you're pushing it up through the plastic.
Yep, and it'll still probably cut the corners of your mouth.
Yeah, sure will.
2-0 to Turner. Pop fly. Randall going to give it a look, but it's near the popsicle.
I remember those push-up pops that were kind of like
great.
a creamsicle. Perfect outdoor temperature to eat ice cream or a popsicle, so it doesn't melt too fast, but it, you know, you can savor it. You don't have to rush through it. It's not dripping all over your hand. I'm gonna go with like 78 degrees.
Another good-looking splitter, 2 and 2. So yeah, Otter Pops are a thing. I think they're the original.
Okay.
Icy Pops is what I know them as.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not grabbing a name from my past to say yes or no.
I didn't grab it either. My wife texted me.
It's supposed to be around 80 degrees here today, and that young man's, you know, popsicle stayed with him for about an inning and a half.
Just foul.
And he's got to be getting ready for another one here. Dodger fan, win on the line.
Got a home run with the first one.
When his dad high-fived him, I wonder if his hand was sticky.
They didn't care one bit. Too perfect a day.
Yeah, nowadays, if mom's not there, they probably don't have any wet wipes. Eric Goodell in his second big league game with the broadcasters talking popsicles.
Second Dodger game.
Well, yeah, sorry, thank you, with the Dodgers.
Turner back up the middle with a base hit to center.
He is swinging a hot bat, Joe. I mean, he has barreled up a lot of balls. Right center, left center, home run, line drive up the middle. He is timed up and synced up. Those are the kinds you hit in the batting cage in spring training. You rattle it back off the machine or the guy throwing to you. Nothing but net at the back.
Boy, and how big does the home run from Puig look now as you bring Bryce Harper to the plate in a 5-2 game. Ball on high. And the Dodgers, similar to much of this season, have not been good with men on base today. They're 2 for 9. But thus far, for one of the first times, overcoming it because of the power that they're hitting for, because there have been a man on for 2 of the home runs. Those are the only hits with men on base, though. 2 balls, no strikes on Harper. Rendon due next. Well, the bullpen wheels set in motion an inning earlier with Alex Wood having to leave with the cramps. Likely no Kenley Jansen down there today. And it's 3-0 on Harper with a tying run on deck. Definitely no Kenley Jansen today.
He threw 34 pitches in 2 different games yesterday. Pedro Baez pitched 2 innings, threw 39. Those are the 2 that are shut down that got over that mark.
It's a 4-pitch walk, and the Nationals get the tying run there in the 8th.
Goodell yesterday threw 16 pitches. Seemed like anybody that was over 30 got shut down, and everybody else is available.
And Rendon. Josh Fields continues to get ready. Looks like maybe a little bit of indecision how they want to proceed here. Now Dave Roberts coming out. A little bit slower walk than usual. Give Fields another couple warm-up pitches.
You don't see this quite as much in the big leagues nowadays with all the visit rule, and saw Don Mattingly do it in Miami to really go into a serious delay. And umpires know that most of the time when the skipper comes out, there's going to be a change. They understand what's going on.
Chad Fairchild calling balls and strikes today. So Goodell out. Fields will come on with a tying run at the plate here in the 8th inning.
To get somebody out, but the first thing is to keep him in the ballpark. You see Josh there with the 3 home runs in his 23rd innings. That would be the killer. Next thing you want to do, get the ball down or get him to swing and miss, hit it on the ground or swing and miss at it and strike him out. Josh's 2 main pitches, the breaking ball and the fastball. And everybody in the bullpen has been better this year when they get a first pitch strike.
Anthony Rendon, who's been one of the best players in the National League during his career, very quietly, but is struggling in this series. Comes up representing the tying run after the single from Turner and the walk from Harper. Fields trying to slam the door shut. All 7 runs in this game off the long ball. 2-run homers for Hernandez and Puig. Solo shot for Grandal. Trey Turner has a 2-run home run for Washington. Rendon, 4 home runs on the year, 3 of them coming over the last week and a half. Here we go. Pops the mitt with a live fastball. Strike 1.
Infielders are going to play as deep as they can, knock it down, try and record an out, but keep the ball in the infield. Outfielders a little bit deep because you want no doubles. Don't let Rendon become the tying run at second base.
One and one. Strike 2 on Anthony Rendon. Dave Roberts trying to navigate through these choppy waters created by a couple of injuries. Rich Hill's blister last night led to the bullpen having to get 27 outs. And then Alex Wood leaving the game probably 1 inning early with cramps. Setting the ball in motion earlier here. The 1-2. Off of Fields, right to Muncy at first to end the inning. You hope Fields is okay. Looks like he is. And finally, some things starting to break the Dodgers' way.
This pitch, it's a 1-2 count with the game on the line. He's going breaking ball, but he's wanting to bounce this. It is right up and down the middle. If it doesn't hit him, Logan Forsythe is right there to field it up the middle. Rendon, frustration. It's nice to see that on the other side of the diamond finally.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of it, but it's typically come from Dodgers. 9th inning, 5-2, and Sean Kelly to pitch. Hernandez 1 for 2 today. 2-run home run and a walk. No swing, 1-0. Now the 26-year-old in his 5th year in the majors. His best night, no question, came in the National League Championship Series with 3 home runs and clinching Game 6. Talked to his mom before that game, and she told him, don't think about hitting a homer, just think about putting the ball in play. And Kike replied jokingly, "Nah, Mom, I was thinking about doing that the last 2 games and it didn't work, so I'm just going to try and hit a homer." He was joking, but then he went out and hit 3 of them, which was more than he hit during his entire day of batting practice. He's got a 4-pitch walk to open the 9th. What made it extra special, though, is that his dad Enrique was there, and as that game is going on and he's hitting homer after homer after homer, his first thought became, I can't wait for this thing to finish now that we have this big lead, so I can go give my dad a big hug. Jock Peterson came on into double switch, and he bats for the first time. His first strike on his 6th pitch. Gone final in New York, by the way. The Mets have swept the Diamondbacks 4-1 the final. Peterson down the line towards the corner. It's a fair ball and up against the wall. Harper stumbles over his own feet as he fields it, and it leads to Hernandez scoring standing up. RBI double for Jock Peterson, and they've extended the lead to 6-2.
DK, great at bat.
Jock continues to impress. A little bit of release on the top hand, but a very balanced and strong swing, and he's getting better and better at putting quality at bats in a row.
He might have a leg thing.
So Hernandez scoring all the way from first. Still nobody out. And back to the top of the order for Max Muncy.
Max Muncy without a hit today, but doesn't mean he hasn't had a good day. A couple of walks, 500 on base percentage today. And right here, just trying to move Jock Peterson over to third.
Strike one. One and one. By the way, Odubel Herrera, who has a 41 game on base streak going, is 0 for 3 right now. That game through his 7 innings in St. Louis, so maybe one more chance for Herrera to extend it. Muncy grounds one to second. That does advance Peterson to third. Cody Bellinger looking for his first hit of the day.
Looking for some contact. A couple of strikeouts today, the last 2 at bats.
Rolled to second. Breaking right away was Peterson on the crack of the bat. And even though it was hit right at Defoe, Peterson's in to score, and the Dodgers lead at 7-2.
Dodgers going on contact, grading the ball right in the hitting area. Watch the bat move, and he was off right away. Very nice jump. A little bit of an awkward slide. Maybe his spike caught on home plate there.
I think that's what he's saying.
Okay, no. All right, so then did he.
Ball one up and in on Turner.
Kind of a bad news Bears slide.
Would have been somewhat appropriate about a week ago.
Oh, exactly.
Right now the Dodgers 3 outs away from matching a season best 4-game winning streak and sweeping the Washington Nationals, who were 13-2 in their last 15 games before.
The offense has come alive. 4 more runs in the last 5 games. They could be 4-1.
And I don't think that you can talk about that without talking about how it's corresponded with Justin Turner's return.
Justin Turner's return, Logan Forsythe in the lineup, Max Muncy on a hot streak, and Dave Roberts being nimble enough with the lineup to keep that hot bat in there no matter where people have to play. Cody Bellinger starting to square up some high fastballs, not swing through them. And other guys pitching in. Matt Kemp, huge double. Don't forget about Yasmani Grandal and what he's done, and Yasiel Puig. So it's even hard for me to like pick a few names and say these guys are carrying us. It's starting to become like the whole team, the whole offense.
Pat Venditti looks like we'll handle the bottom of the 9th. Turner fouls it again. I think that the general feeling was that the offense was going to trend positively from where it was. Of course, getting back Turner, and you hope that Forsythe would come back and swing it well, and he has. You figured Puig would begin to hit for some semblance of power. Down the line, foul. And the other phase you're wondering about is the bullpen. And the bullpen has been huge in this series. Well, those two things trending positively. Now you kind of throw the question on the starting rotation with another injury. Rich Hill out for at least a month, it sounds like, according to Dave Roberts. Turner strikes out swinging. That does it for the Dodgers in the 9th, but they add 2 and lead it 7-2 to the bottom half. A 2-run shot against Steven Strasburg, couple of walks, and a nice defensive play to boot.
The offense tacked on after that, but he pitched in after that with his glove also. Kike getting a start today to rest Chris Taylor, and he has not disappointed.
7-2 the Dodgers lead to the bottom of the 9th, and Josh Fields is going to remain in there, having gotten Anthony Rendon to finish off the 8th. And in position to get a save because Rendon was representing the tying run when he came in.
Josh Fields hit by the ball that Rendon hit, and it was a blister. So I'm sure that Rick Honeycutt and Dave Roberts were watching him warm up for this inning very closely to make sure he wasn't compensating for that ball that got him.
Middle third of the order, Reynolds, Adams, and Taylor. Before yesterday, the Dodgers had won 2 games in the last 10 days. They won 2 games yesterday alone. And on the verge of winning all 3 this weekend. And when you're looking at it, first of all, you go back and you look at it before the Red Series and you say, here's a chance for them to get going. 4 with the Reds, 3 with the Marlins. That didn't happen. Then you look at it after losing 6 in a row to open that stretch and say, my gosh, 1 more with the Marlins. You've lost 6 in a row. Then you got to go see Scherzer, Roark, Strasburg. Wasn't looking good. Strike 1. Ross Stripling got him off to a great start in game 1 yesterday with a career high 9 Ks over 6 innings. Bullpen carried the load in game 2. A comeback win. And they rode the long ball in this one.
And it's everybody. The top 3 guys in the order today. You know, Muncy reaches base a couple times with walks, but Cody Bellinger and Justin Turner don't get it done. But the next 6 guys in the batting order, at least, all scored.
Leadoff walk to Reynolds. Yeah, all 7 runs have come from 4 through 9. Matt Adams. Boy, 98. Power against power. Fields wins it for strike 1. Nationals, if they can't pull off a huge comeback here, would fall to 24-21. In 3rd place in the division behind Atlanta and Philadelphia. For a team that's won 4 division titles the last 6 seasons. They fired Dusty Baker after back-to-back division titles and brought in Dave Martinez. Ground ball, right side. There's one. Late at first. And it took their time turning that. And Adams aboard on a fielder's choice.
Yeah, that almost turn was a little clunky at both places. And especially Kike right there coming across the bag. Took him 2 tries to get it out of his glove. Logan does a nice job because that was a bullet, and that flip there's in plenty of time, but Kike just a little double clutch.
So Adams aboard. They can get another one of those ground balls. Could end the game. Michael Taylor, the batter. It's the 50th year of this franchise. Did he see in 2005? And in 50 years, they've won 1 postseason series. 1981, there was a division series that year because of the strike. They beat the Phillies and then lost to the Dodgers in the championship series. 1 ball and 1 strike. They would lead in that series. Comeback kids in 81 for the Dodgers. It would do the same thing against the Yankees in the World Series. One ball and 2 strikes. Well, this group gets healthy. The lineup should produce. You know the rotation is as good as any. I don't know about you, but I would be surprised if it wasn't the Nationals on top of the division when this thing's all finished.
I'm right there with you. They're going to need to square away their bullpen also.
On the corner, strike 3. Using a breaking ball to finish Taylor.
Was barely catching that outside corner. Josh working hard to get that breaking ball down. Fortunately for that one, slightly up, but caught that corner.
You're looking at the competition in the division for him. Philadelphia a year ahead of schedule, seems like, competing the way that they are. Atlanta even farther behind in their rebuild. So they've been a huge surprise with the best record in the National League. 27-17. Defensive indifference. Adams taking second. Wonder if the biggest threat may, when it all finishes, be the New York Mets still with their pitching. Two and on Severino. If the postseason began today, your division winners would be the Braves, the Brewers, and the Diamondbacks. And the wild cards would be the Phillies and the Pirates. Two and one.
Four and six, 4 out of 6 in this road trip.
Yeah, it'll be a 4-2 trip.
That's awesome. It's getting to be fun.
Make that quick turnaround with the team arriving back in Los Angeles late tonight and starting a series the next day. Make that a little easier to get the blood pumping and get back on the field.
Dodgers need to turn that home record around. Dodger Stadium was a huge home field advantage last year.
8-13 there this year. Rockies tomorrow, opening up a 3-game series, opening up a 10-game homestand.
Enjoy those Dodger dogs tomorrow.
That is
5.
right.
You can get 5, $1 each.
At a time. You can get 5, eat them.
Yeah.
Go back to the line, get 5 more.
And then you'll be full.
So just have a drink of water and go get 5 more.
But you know what? After a 4-2 road trip, get home crowd, Dodgers in a good mood. You're going to eat a lot of Dodger dogs. They might want to stock up. Talk to the distributor. Deliver more dogs for tomorrow. We're on a roll.
Another 2-2. Got him looking to finish it off. The Dodgers have swept the Washington Nationals and have won 4 in a row, matching a season best streak.
They out-hit their opponent again, and when they do, they are 15-4. The offense is coming alive.
It seems like perhaps a turning point in this season here in D.C. this weekend. Sweeping the doubleheader on Saturday and riding the long ball to the win in this one. 7-2 the final. For Oral Hershiser, Alana Rizzo, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Washington, D.C. and can't wait to get back to Dodger Stadium tomorrow for Game 1 with the Rockies. Stay tuned. Access Sportsnet Dodgers begins now.